All right, YouTube, welcome back to another video. It's your boy AJ Breezy. Today's topic, if you can already see from the caption of the video, the topic of the video, it's gonna be about alcohol, right? And just its effect it's had on me and why I stopped drinking. You know what I mean? I've been really relying on alcohol a lot, especially in my like mid to late 20s. Right now I'm 28 years old, as you probably already know. And alcohol for me was just something that I used to kind of like escape pain, also use it to like have fun with. It's kind of like a social thing as well. When you're drinking, you know, a lot of people, they love to do social things where they're drinking, right? And as you get older, I feel like every event you go to that's social, whether it be a concert, whether it be like a poetry kind of thing, there's always alcohol around, a very common thing. And I really just didn't want to, I had to stop. And I'm gonna go into the reasons why. I got like five main reasons. I'm gonna have like some sub topics in that as well. If I'm looking away, it's because I'm looking at my notes. I made some notes for this just so I didn't lose my train of thought. Another thing I want to do is just stop saying a lot. So I'm gonna try to have a constant stream of just my thoughts and my feelings and just talk a little bit more clear to y'all. So let's get started. So number one, I did not like the way it made me feel physically, right? So if you see my other videos, I'm really big on taking care of your health. I'm really big on just being in the gym, being fit, and just feeling overall better, right? I made some shorts about it, made some other videos about it, whether it be mentally, whether it be physically, right? For me, I noticed that both my physical and both my mental were not as sharp as it could be while I was drinking alcohol. And one thing that really made me feel was lethargic, right? Say I went out on a Friday night, right, and I had work the next day, or say I went on Sunday, had work on Monday, I would always feel like crap the next day. The hangovers would be terrible, depending on how much alcohol I drink, depending what kind of alcohol I drink. I would just feel like light, like I would be sensitive to light, things like that. Like the light would be too bright, I'm like, dang, my head hurt, like all kinds of stuff. I just would not feel good. And I feel like that would affect my like productivity. I wasn't as like effective. I wouldn't want to cook. I wouldn't want to clean up my apartment. I wouldn't want to go to work. I felt like the days I would be at work, I'd just be kind of like mulling through the day or whatever. So I'm like, you know what, like maybe this alcohol stuff isn't really as good as it seems, right? And then another thing I would get headaches. So I would have headaches the next day. I would just be dehydrated. So my brain is just like, yo, what are you doing? Like, take care of me, like help me out, you know? So I have to like chug a bunch of water, try to eat some carb dense, fatty foods, kind of like soak up the alcohol to feel better. And then in turn, that wouldn't make me feel even worse. So I'm eating crappier food, right? So those are some things. And then I felt like also no matter how much sleep I got, when I was drinking, I always felt like I was still tired, right? I don't know if you felt that as well, where like you're drinking and then you stay up a little bit later and then you get like 8 hours of sleep, you get like 9 hours of sleep, but then you still feel like crap. And I feel like alcohol does affect your sleep. I don't know the exact science behind it, but I think there is a direct correlation of the two. And then getting into the second topic, right? I did a lot of things I didn't really like when I was drinking. So, right, you drink, normally you're going out while you're drinking, and I feel like a lot of people, they get this liquid courage, right? It helps you to be more confident, helps you to be more bold while you're on this alcohol, you know, kind of effect. When you get that after effect of the alcohol. And some things I did, I would just talk to people, right? I'm social as it is, right? Like you come to my YouTube channel, you know I'm a yapper. I love to yap. But when I was on alcohol, I was even more social. And I found myself talking to people that I normally wouldn't even talk to, right? Girls that I normally wouldn't even shoot my shot at while I was sober. And it would happen all the time. Like I go out and I don't know, when people are drinking alcohol, they just kind of get in this mood, right? I feel like the true intentions come out, the true like desires come out, right? And it makes it easier for people to shoot their shot at you, makes it easier for you to shoot your shot too. And I noticed I'd be around girls and I'm like, man, like some of them would be like cool, some of them would be bad. Like I remember one time I was drinking, went to this place called the Bungalow in Long Beach, and I bumped into this girl. I was having me a good time, a couple drinking drinks, and bumped into her. And I looked at her, I'm like, oh, she looked like Janae Aiko. But she probably didn't really look like Janae Aiko. It was probably the alcohol. But like in my brain, I was like, this girl looked like Janae Aiko. And we were talking and crap. And I was just like, nah, I don't even know how I'm feeling right now. I'm just going to like dead this conversation real quick. Because alcohol just affects everything. It affects the way you rationalize things. It affects the way you think. And I wasn't able to think straight. A lot of times I end up talking to girls. I don't know. It's just, you're talking, and next, you know, one thing leads to another, you're making out. Boom. Like, it's way easier off alcohol. And I didn't really like that effect that it was having on me. Just talking to these random girls, making out random girls. I don't know them. I remember one girl, I met her at this place in LA. It was a Hispanic and hip hop bar called Las Perlas. And I remember she was talking to me. And like she was following me around, like she admitted she was following me around and stuff like that. She thought I was attractive, whatever. We ended up making out. She was sick. She got me sick, and I was sick for a whole week. So I didn't really like that. That was like a really bad thing that happened to me. And I felt like when you're drinking more, it's easy to actually, I'm messing up. I'm having too much spit in my mouth. I need water. But it's easy to just overdrink on accident too. So like you drink a couple of drinks. Like I remember one time I drank like 3 Cutwaters. I didn't know they were that strong, and I did not have a good rest of my night. I did not feel good. And then another thing is like you end up going to things like for me like there's raves, concerts. I don't really like that kind of music like EDM, hella bass stuff. But I feel like if I'm in these environments, I have to drink more because it kind of just calms you down. Like you just be chilling, you just be vibing there, and I guess it kind of like catches you up to just a vibe. I don't know. I feel like when I'm at places like that, I have to drink more, but I don't want to have to do that. If I'm in a place where I feel like I have to drink to be there, maybe I shouldn't be there in the first place, right? And that was one thing I was doing to kind of like accommodate that. It's just like drink some, that way I don't have to feel annoyed being at these places. And then number 3, so I talked about like how I'm big into fitness and just taking care of your body. The way my body started to look while I was drinking wasn't that good. I feel like, I feel like when I was drinking more, I gained a lot more fat, like in this area in the midsection, and my abs were not as visible, and that was kind of annoying to me. I feel like I had to put in like more work just to be able to get my stomach and my abs just the way I wanted it. You know what I mean? To lean out more, and my face would also get red. So like I have like a little bit of like red undertones in my skin, but like when I was drinking, I felt like the red would come out a lot more, right? So I drink a lot, you know, at night. Next day I come into work, I have like red blotches in my face. And it was almost looking like I had freckles or some crap like that, but I have like red in my face, and that was also really annoying. So not only does drinking alcohol affect just like the way you act in your brain, but it also has like external effects you can see as well. You can see it in people's eyes if they're drinking. They get like more bags under their skin for their eyelids, stuff like that. And I did not like that. I couldn't keep up with that. That was just really annoying. And then number 4, this was a big hitter. I was losing hella money spending on alcohol, right? I would go out. I used to have like ex-girlfriends. They love to drink, right? 1 drink turns into 2 drinks. 2 drinks turns into 3 drinks, 4 drinks, 5 drinks. And next thing you know, you spend hundreds of dollars, right? Especially if you're taking shots, you spend hundreds of dollars that you just got paid on the weekend at a bar, at a restaurant. And that's money that honestly you could be investing in somewhere else, right? Like a business plan, high yield savings account, stocks, whatever you could be. I just felt like I was just wasting my money. And I'm still paying off, like I told you guys, I'm like paying off debt right now, like $2,000, like consumer debt and also like medical debt that's like intertwined. And alcohol was like a big factor in that, and going out and drinking was something that I needed to like cut out. And since I've cut it out, I haven't been like sober for a long time. It's been like only 2 weeks, but since I've cut it out, I've been able to save more money and just prioritize different things, which is nice. And one thing I was gonna talk about too is just buying drinks. So I have friends, right? They'll buy me drinks. I'm like, okay, I got this round, right? So then they buy a drink for you, and then you feel like you gotta buy a drink for them, right? It's like not that you have to, but you almost feel like, oh well, they got me one, so I owe them one, and it's kind of like a weird dynamic, right? And then you end up spending more money than you should have, and you shouldn't. Like, don't be going out spending a bunch of money, especially if you ain't got it like that. But when you're drinking, I feel like your cognitive like reasoning is just like inhibited. You're not able to think as straight. So I highly recommend if you are drinking a lot, just stop it, bro. You're spending too much money. You don't need to be spending money like that, especially if you're young. Another thing, number 5. This is the last one. Number 5. Friends would challenge me to drink more, and I was kind of annoyed by this because I'm not like, I have ego, right? Everyone has an ego, kind of. I've been working on how like hiding my ego and stuff like that, and like just addressing it and being more just relaxed, more reserved, more humble. There's times to be egotistical for sure, but I was kind of like trying to get out of that macho man side. Like I'm the best out here, I'm the biggest out here. But there's people that will egg you on, right? They'll challenge you by, oh man, you're only drinking 1 drink. You're a pussy. Oh, you need to drink more. And there's a lot of people, like their so-called friends, right, that want to get you to drink more. And why do they want you to drink more, right? Because they want to see how you act while you're drunk, right? They want to get you intoxicated. And that's not a good thing. And if you're in environments where you're drinking, they encourage drinking like a bar, dive bars, wherever you're at, like a club, they're going to keep serving you alcohol, and there's no limit. Like, it's crazy because alcohol itself, right, is one of the most detrimental things. It's worse than like, it's something you can become addicted to that you can easily have access to, which is crazy, right? We don't treat alcohol like we treat other drugs. We just let people use it, but it's super detrimental. People have done so many bad things while being drunk, while being influenced by alcohol, DUIs. People have lost their lives to the car crashes. These are just some side effects. These are just some bad things that can happen drinking alcohol. And I realized that for myself, I just have to stop. I just have to get that mess over with. I've thrown up too many times. I've made it to moments where I got too intoxicated. Not in public. I always made it home safe. I always made sure I was Ubering home, whatever I needed to do. But I highly recommend, like, if you've just been drinking a lot, just cut it off, bro. Take a step back. it's not good for you. It wasn't good for me. I had to kind of just give it up and just take a step back from that. So I'm making this video. If you see this video, if you relate, if you've been going through just like battles or drinking, if you want to stop, I highly recommend it. You can try to white knuckle it. It can be kind of tough. I just do cold turkey. I cut that mess off. I get all the alcohol out of my house. I give it to people. I've stopped drinking multiple times throughout this year. I think this time probably will be for good. We'll see how it goes. It's been only like 2 weeks. I stopped I drank last 2 weeks ago. I had a cut water from a liquor store, and that messed me up. It was really bad. It was just a cut water and a Modelo, and I literally wanted to throw up. I woke up in the middle of the night with like throw up in my throat, and it was burning my throat. And I was like, I'm good, because what if I did throw up? What if I was laying on my back, I threw up, and I just choked on throw up and died, right? Or unalived, right? It literally can happen to people. So highly recommend, if you've just been thinking about giving up drinking, it might be worth it for you. For me personally, I'm just gonna stop. I need to take a time out and just move on. As always, it's your boy AJ Breezy. I appreciate you for watching the videos. If you want to like, comment, subscribe, I appreciate all the support. Anyways, I'll come back with more videos, and until next time, AJ Breezy, I'm out.